tonight's event, the 4x200 metres relay for women. The men will be next up, the ladies out first. Poland go out in lane 6 from the 5 teams in this final. Kuzowska will be the lead-off athlete, handing over to Chiba, Adamek and Gola. Then the Danes in their tights. Louise Oostergaard, she is running on fresh legs. The next 3 athletes, well, there was a late change. Matilda Kramer replacing Bomber on leg 3 for the Danes. The Irish, well, they are on a real crest of a wave. Lynch, Doherty, Quinn and Becker, their quartet. Then the Kenyans, Joan Chirona will be the lead-off athlete, handing over to Doreen Waka, Monica Safania and Maximila Imali. Watch Imali on that final leg for the Kenyans. And Ecuador will be on the inside. Gabriela Tenorio did leg 1 for the 4x100 just a few minutes ago. And Villalba is running on fresh legs on the second leg for them. Landazuri and Suarez. So I suspect in the way these athletes operate in these conditions, Jenny, they'll all want to get out there, get their blocks in place, get in position and get the race done as quickly as possible. You don't want to be out there for extra minutes. I mean, I don't think we've had a full start all weekend, but delays are the last thing they want.
Don't curse it, Tim. Really interesting, actually. Ecuador, Denmark and Poland, their teams have just gone in the 4x1, and the timetabling is that there was only 13 minutes between one race and the other. So when you're talking about trying to keep warm, maybe it's quite a good idea that some of these athletes have come hot off the 4x1 straight into the 4x4, and this is what they do in training. You know, sprinters compared to middle and long distance runners, they probably have 10-12 minutes between high speed repetitions, so good training session for some of them.
Well, no Italian squad in this one, but they've had a fabulous day so far. They've won 2 of the 3 events so far, and they were second in the other of the Italians. They're having a brilliant day of finals here in Silesia. Kramer goes on the 3rd leg for Denmark. Out in lane 5, the Irish athlete there, Sarah Quinn, just inside her in discussion with one of the officials. And a big shout out to all the officials on a cool, damp day. The organisation so far has been absolutely superb, and smiles everywhere around the arena from the locals, helping things go smoothly at this national stadium. Kenyan Joan Chirona will lead up her squad, and that's Safania, who goes on leg 3. You tend to see 200-metre specialists run the 3rd leg for 4x100 metre teams, but of course, in theory, all these athletes are 200-metre specialists.
Yeah, going down the personal best, quite a lot of them 100-metre personal best, 200, even 400. So quite a mix of athletes coming at this one. I guess 200 metres fits perfectly in the middle for a lot of 100 and 400-metre athletes. And again, it's just a great opportunity that we've got the 4x200 metres, because it just allows more people, more opportunities to represent the nation, get some relay baton skills, and really let a lot of the coaches just see what form people are in at this early stage of the season in such a significant year.
Well, Ecuador go on the inside. Landazuri on the 3rd leg for them. Ran leg 4 in the 4x100. Landazuri just 13 minutes ago. Can you believe? They're tightly packed, really, in championship terms, major event terms, these races. So Poland on the outside. Paulina Guzowska is their lead-off athlete. Kamila Chiba, Klaudia Adamek and Milena Gola, the rest of her squad. Denmark, Louise Oostergaard running on fresh legs, passes over to Gravesgaard, Kramer and Glenna Franson. Then Eve Lynch, Kate Doherty, Sarah Quinn and Sophie Becker for the Irish in lane 4. Kenya, Joan Chirona, Doreen Waka, Monica Safania and Maximila Imali. And Ecuador on the inside with Angela Gabriela Tenorio on the opening leg for them. She'll hand over to Villalba, who's running on fresh legs, and Landazuri, who ran leg 4 in the 4x1, and Gabriela Anahi Suarez, who ran leg 2 in that 4x100 metres just a few minutes ago for Ecuador. Ecuador was 6th 2 years ago. Can they improve on that from lane 2? Surely they can if they can get the baton round. There's 5 teams here. Well, those big staggers, of course, take into account the nature of this 4x200 meters event. Poland on the outside look to have gone off really well. To left of picture, extreme left of picture is Paulina Guzowska. They lead at the moment. See that graphic bottom left of your screen? That constantly changes, showing you the leader at each changeover. Poland from Ecuador and Ireland. Not a perfect changeover for the Poles, but it doesn't matter over 2 laps of the track. Ireland in 2nd place at the moment with Kate Doherty on this second leg, closing up on the Dane Gravesgaard outside her. Doherty there working hard, really pumping hard with the arms and looking strong down the back straight, but the Poles will be tough to catch, Jenny.
Yeah, and this is a very hard race to judge for all those athletes who's running such a big stagger at the beginning, and of course they run in lanes the whole of the 2 laps. But that visual, that graphic at the bottom really helps, doesn't it? Poland from Ireland from Ecuador.
Well, coming to the final changeover for Ireland here, it's Sarah Quinn. She'll hand over to Sophie Becker. There was some pressure being applied from Kramer, but that seems to have reduced as a Poland handover. Very casual changeovers of Poland, because I think they know they've got a big, big lead here. The Irish have the stagger unwinding in their favour here. Can they close on Poland significantly here? Good running in lane 2 from Ecuador. Suarez it is in this final leg for them, as Kenya bring up the rear at the moment with Ireland in 2nd place, still 3 or 4 metres shy of what they need. Marlena Gola here will not be caught. It's going to be victory for the home nation. Gola storming away and stretching away towards the line. Ireland 2nd, and in 3rd place it was indeed Ecuador. Well, a big win that for the Poles. A very comfortable win as it turned out. Great running from the Irish, who were applying pressure right until the last 50 or 60 metres of that 2-lap race, the 4x200. Unique, of course, a race of that duration being run in lanes. But when you build up a big lead, you do have the luxury, unlike in the 4x100, of taking plenty of care over the changeovers.
You know, some of those changeovers, it's very hard when you're coming in at, you know, that sort of speed with fatigue in your legs. The Irish are delighted with that national record, in fact. But yeah, I was watching a couple of the athletes. The 4x1, you're going through with momentum. The 4x4, yes, you're a little bit tired, of course, when you give the baton over, but the momentum isn't there and you've got more of a relaxed changeover. But that was really tough, those changeovers with fatigued legs, and you're still coming at high speed. But I'm sure all these women really enjoyed that opportunity of competing over that not so often ran distance of 4x200 metres. The Irish athletes are delighted with that 2nd place.
Well, they should be. They set a national record behind Poland. Poland, by the way, setting a national record as well. Well, 1:34.98 by over half a second. The Irish setting a national record by almost a second. Just a couple of clicks shy of a full second faster than ever before from that Irish quartet to take 2nd place. Ecuador 3rd from that inside lane. They set a season's best with 1:36.86. Denmark 4th. Kenya in 5th, but Denmark and Kenya both also setting national records. So 4 national records from the 5 teams, and that of course is explained by this event being very rarely run. And there will be big chunks to come off those times, I'm sure, in years ahead, because in warmer conditions each of those athletes would have felt a lot more comfortable powering round their half lap. Well, we can have a look at some of those changeovers. The Polish squad all smiles, of course. Not only the winners, but a national record for them. That's a unique double. Look at this first changeover from Poland. Goes off a little early, does the Polish 2nd leg runner, Kamila Chiba, but it doesn't matter because such was the quality of the running from Guzowska. And then that 2nd changeover, Chiba to Adamek. The Irish there having a really good changeover. The Danes not quite as good, and that cost them 2 or 3 metres perhaps. Here's the 3rd changeover. But Jenny, the Poles were not to be caught, not to be denied.
So much strength in depth in Polish athletics now, and particularly on the women's side. 400 metres, particularly, you know, that squad has won so many medals over the years. And people who make up a 400 metre squad, of course, are 200 metre runners, 400 metre runners, sometimes 800 metres and 400 metre hurdlists. And I'm sure a lot of these women are just so grateful to get an opportunity, because it's hard to break into those squads.
Well, it is hard to break into those squads. As I mentioned, 4 national records. There it is, Ecuador, who finished up in 3rd place, made the roster, and the only team not to do so. But Poland, the winners, 134.98 by